Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter. Welcome you to another Stone Cold Hockey video. And you won't believe your eyes, but look at this. Look at this screen. That's right. It's a 2025-26 tourney. I do a 32-team tournament just for fun, just to see what type of players play and stuff and all that. How's this possible? Well, today, August 17th, was actually the day that they sent an email. A Street Games said we have this new thing, Stone Cold Hockey 25-26. And I'm like, yes, I gotta buy it. That was only 15 bucks Canadian, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Carpe diem. Well, I am a Waterloo Oxford Crusader, so that's our theme, Carpe diem. So I'm doing this. So I'm doing a 32 team thing. I do have to do a little bit of research for this. I have another project. I have a project coming up that I want to do with the Kitchener Rangers, but that will be put on hold for a little bit. All right, so we're going to do a 32-team playoff just for the fuck of it. Everything's random, like there's no seeding or anything. Boom. All right, let's see what the playoffs bring. All right, it's randomization. So we have Seattle versus Winnipeg. Okay, Florida versus the Rangers. Oh man, the Rangers fans are going to be upset. They got the Panthers. Toronto plays St. Louis. Okay, I think that's easy. I think we'll be okay. Montreal, Vegas. Ooh, that should be interesting. Patches ready. Sweet fix. Probably not. Tampa, Washington. Ooh, that's always big. Dallas, Utah. Okay. Jersey, Philly. Oh man, that's a big rivalry. Carolina, Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, the Battle of the Stalls. Oh no, wait. Jordan Stalls with Carolina. Whatever. Minnesota, Anaheim. Yeah, 2003 reminds you of everything. Colorado, Nashville. Big rivalry. Buffalo, Boston. Yeah, that's a rivalry. Yeah, they met in the playoffs too. Yeah, that was Lucky Ducks. Islanders, LA. San Jose, Vancouver. Detroit, Chicago. Oh, big set. Original six. Columbus, Edmonton. Okay, and Calgary, Ottawa. So at least we get one Canadian team in the round of 16. All right, so we go through the game ones. First game one, Seattle, Winnipeg. Seattle wins on home turf 4-1. Grubauer beats Hellebuck. Only Winnipeg goal by Jonathan Toews. Yeah, he was a Winnipeg Jet. He's going to move to Chicago. Is he going back to Chicago to retire? Is it one day contract with the Blackhawks? I think he is. Seattle scores their 4 goals. Tolfin and Bernier's Freddie Goudreau. That can't be right. Frederick Goudreau's dead. Dead, isn't he? Or is it the other Goudreau? That doesn't make sense. Frederick Goudreau. I think that was Johnny's brother. And Everly scoring. That doesn't make sense. I think the I think you're thinking I think I'm thinking someone else. Matthew Goudreau. Maybe that's what it is. All right. Florida Rangers, Florida Kachi 4-3. Johnny Quick losing to Bobrovsky. Ranger goals by DJ Mikas and Vinajad, Alex Lafreniere, and Taylor Radishes not so sweet, gross and red and round and gross to eat. If you're a Degrassi fan, you freaking know this thing about Radich. We're not explaining it too badly. Radich was the principal in season 4. You know the whole Rick Murray situation, and he stupidly let Rick back in the school and ignored Rick, but still. And basically, Liberty and JT took him to task. He was later released. Florida goals by Sam Bennett, Noah Gregor, Brian Marchand, The Rat, and Sam Jones. Well, Seth Jones. Toronto, St. Louis, Kachi in overtime. Overtime heroics by Dylan Holloway Rowe. As Binghamton beats Stolars, who, when he's healthy, he's good. When he's not, fuck. Leave goals by Stetcher OEL as an Ekman Larson and Matthew Nice. St. Louis goals by Snooker, Kyrou, Turchenko, and Dylan Holloway. Montreal, Vegas. Vegas wins in overtime in Montreal. Lindholm beats Dobas. Overtime heroics by Dorvaev. Hudden and Mitch Marner. Ah, man. Leaf fans. Why did we get rid of Mitch Marner? He wasn't the problem. Montreal goals by Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, but they lose in game 1. I love you. Tampa crushes Washington 6-1. Thompson gets butt whipped by Vasilevsky. Washington go by Bouvellier, not Ovi. Tampa goes by Dastus, Holmberg, Darren Radich, Hagel, Gunzel, and Hagel again. Hagel the Bagel. Dallas, Utah. Dallas wins 5-2. Auditor beats Virginia. Utah goes by Alex Kerfoot and Nick Schmaltz. Dallas goes by Johnston, Matt Duchesne, Nathan Bastian, Tyler Seguin, and Emborg. New Jersey wins in overtime over Philly. Vladar losing to Jake Allen. And Jack Hughes is your hero with a hat trick. Boy, the Devils with Jack Hughes. Carolina beats Pittsburgh 6-3, the Stanley Cup champs. Bussy, if you have a sick mind, you say it's something else. Shut up, we don't need to know. Still lost. So 6-3 Carolina. Seth Jarvis, Shevchenko, Ahoka, Keandre, and Seth Jarvis scoring the goals for Carolina. Pittsburgh goals by Brasso, Chinikov, and Raquel. Minnesota beats Anaheim 3-1 in game 1. Dostal losing to Wellstead. Anaheim goal by Perling. Nico Stern, Vladdy Tarasenko, surprised he's still around, and Kaprizov for Minnesota. Colorado beats Nashville 2-1. Blackwood beats Anunin, who is a former Avalanche goalie. McKinnon and Nakash for Colorado. Holla, make it holler for Nashville. Buffalo beats Boston 5-3. Alex Lyon beats Swayman. Boston goes by Pasternak, Minton, and Pasternak. Buffalo goes by Ostlund, Quinn, Tuck, Dolan, and Josh Norris. Islanders 4-1 over LA. Tampa losing to Sorokin. LA goes by Armia, Pajot, Holmstrom, Kiefer McLean, and Matt Schaefer for the Islanders. Vancouver crushes San Jose 7-4. Lankinen beats Askarov. 2 goals, Orlov and Celebrini for San Jose. Vancouver goes by Les Carlson, Sasson, Rossi, DeBrusque, Carlson, DeBrusque, and Joseph. And 2 more goals for San Jose. Regenda and Kiefer Sherwood. Luke. Detroit with a shutout. Cam Talbot, the big shutout over Spencer Knight. Patrick Kane scoring twice on his former team. Outfitting. Edmonton beats Columbus 4-3 in Columbus. Ingram, the big win. Connor Ingram, big win for England. Edmonton against Columbus and Jet Graves. Edmonton goes by Evan Bouchard, Nuge, Draisaitl, and Trent Frederick. Columbus goes by Franken, Marchenko, and Frankov again. And finally, game 1, Calgary Ottawa. Ottawa wins 5-3. Merlinen beats the Wolf. Calgary goes by Coronado, Frost, and Strom. Ottawa goes by Stützle, Sutherland, Brady Tkachuk, Shane Pinto, and Batterson. Game 2 is Florida Rangers start. Game 2, Rangers win 5-2. Shesterkin beats Bobrovsky. Rangers goes by DJ Mika. DJ Mika, Will Cooley side of the pillow, and then DJ Mika with a hat trick. And man, 4 goals by DJ Mika. Florida goes by Balinski. Both of them. Toronto wins 5-2 over St. Louis. Hilderbeest beats Billington. Nice, Tavares, Gruel, Tavares, and Nice for T-Dot. I kind of have to go quickly. Vegas crushes Montreal again 5-2. Aiden Hill beats Stobus. Everything was random. Trust me. Noah Dobson and Newhook from Montreal. Mitch Marner scoring twice for Vegas. Boy, Leaf fans, we miss them. Tampa with a shutout. Halverson with a shutout. Gunso, Kucherov, and Point scoring the goals. Dallas beats Utah 4-2. They're up 2-0. Ottinger beats Verminka. New Jersey again wins an overtime over Philly. Vladar losing to Markstrom. Connor Brown his second goal at 7:57 of overtime. Pittsburgh beats Carolina 5-2. Silas beats Kochetkov. Carolina Robinson and Nishkishkin for the Stanley Cup champs. Minnesota is up 2-0 in Anaheim. 5-2. Dostal losing to Philip Gustafson. Baldy, Faber, Zuccarello, Foligno, and Eriksson Ek for Minnesota. Colorado now up 2-0. Wedgwood beats Anunin again. Nikushkin, McCard, Malinsky, and Nakash for Kutereto. Buffalo is now 2-0 on Boston. 5-4. Luukkonen beats Korpisalo. Buffalo 4 quick goals. Yeah, they're back, baby. LA beats the Islanders 5-2 to tie up the series. Anton Forsberg beats Sorokin. Heinen and Andrews lead for the Islanders. San Jose wins 6-1 as Tolipido lost to Askarov. Sasson Celebrini did score a goal. and Jeff Skinner. Kitchener will go for the Sharks. Chicago beats Detroit 2-1. Wow. Knight beats Gibson. Kitchener. 2 goals by Nazar and Ryan Donato. JVR for Detroit. Columbus ties it up with Edmonton 5-3. Ingram losing the Jet Greaves. Nugent Hopkins, Savoie, and Bouchard for Leamington. Calgary ties it up 3-2. Wolf beat Merlin. And Ottawa goes by Sanderson, Jake Sanderson, and Stutzel. Farabee, Michael Buckland, and Frost for Calgary. And the last game, too, Winnipeg in overtime. Kopke from Filardi and Sandberg at 13-24 as Comrie beats Grubauer. Game 3s. Toronto St. Louis. Toronto wins 7-4 on the road. Hildenby beats Binghamton. Toronto goes by Ekman Larson, Matthews, McCabe, Jake McCabe, Nylander, Nyes, and Maselli. Vegas beats Montreal. They're now 1 win away. Hill beats Dalbus. Montreal goes by Newhook, Caulfield, and Gallagher. Washington 4-3. Thompson beats Halverson, so that's big because they force at least game 5. Utah wins in overtime, so they've cut in Dallas' lead. Dylan Goodfer at 9:46 from McBain and Schultz over Ottinger. New Jersey is now 3-0 up, 3-1. Markstrom beat Vladar. Brown, Heischer, and Glass for New Jersey, so they didn't need overtime this time. Pittsburgh did. They beat Carolina in overtime 2-1. Seeloss beats Buzzi. Taylor Hall scored for Carolina, but Sid the Kid and Anthony Mantha scoring for Pittsburgh. Anaheim beats Minnesota 4-1, so they're now winning. McTavish, Carlson, Kreider, and Kreider scoring for Anaheim. Nashville is now down 2-1, 5-2. And then beats Wedgwood, so yeah. Goes by Kelly and McCarr for Cotorato. Boston is cut into lead 5-3. Swayman beats Luukkonen. Islanders beat the Kings 3-2. Rittich beats Forsberg. Islander goes by Horvat, Gumcum, and Holstrom. San Jose beats Vancouver 5-4. In Vancouver, Nedeljkovic beats Lankinen. Vancouver goes by Olgren, Carlson, Wielander, and Bluger. Detroit beats Chicago 4-3. Now they're up 2-1. Talbot beats Söderblom. Patrick Kane did not score for Detroit. He got 2 assists, but he didn't score a goal. I don't think he had the heart to. Edmonton wins on home turf 5-4. Ingram beats Greaves. Edmonton goes by Roslovic, Connor, Jones, and Nuge. Calgary goes to Ottawa and wins 4-3. Cooley beats Ullmark. Calgary goes by Backstrom, Strom, Sharangovic, and Blake Coleman. Spence Sutherland and Riley Gregg for Ottawa. Winnipeg wins 6-4 over Seattle. Hellebuck beats Dakor. Winnipeg goes by Morgan Barron, Perfetti, Scheifele. He's from Kitchener, but he's not a Kitchener Ranger. Kyle Connor, Iafallo, and Scheifele, his third. And finally, Florida beats the Rangers 3-1. Tarasov beats Shachurkin. Florida goes by Lundell, Marchand, and Evan Rodriguez. DJ Mika has 6 goals in 3 games. All right, let's go with the sweeps. Vegas, are they sweeping? Nope. Montreal wins in overtime, 6-5. They scored with under 2 minutes left to force overtime and call for the 4:52 from Bolduc and Demidov as Montembeault beats Hart. New Jersey is going to sweep. They beat the Flyers 5-4. Allen beats Kolosov. They were down 4-2 in the third, but Glass, Mercer, and Jack Hughes saved the day. Philadelphia, let's take a look at their stuff. Vladar 0-3, Kolosov 0-1. Urson, why the fuck was Urson not in the net? Konecki, Trevor Seagrass, and Noah Cates got the most points for the Flyers. Wow, only 2 potential sweeps. Washington wins in overtime to tie with Tampa. Thompson beats Vasilevsky. Tom Wilson, he's still in the league from Protas. Dallas wins in overtime on Utah. They're 1 win away. Ottinger beats Vermenka. Matt Duchene is 4th for the playoffs. Is your winner at 519? Carolina beats Pitt 4-2. That makes it a best of 3 now. Freddie Anderson beats Stuart Skinner. Goals by Jackson Blake, that is. Shashnikov, Aho, and Kokinami. Minnesota beats Anaheim 6-3. They're 1 win away. Gustafsson beats Dosto. Kaprizov scoring 2. Colorado won 5-2 in Nashville. Their one went away. Blackwood beats Annanen. Kadri Kitchener with the goal. Boston beats Buffalo. They force a best of 3 now. Swayman beats Lyon. The Kings win 2-1. Kemper beats Sorokin. Lafreniere scoring 2 for LA. Andres Lee for the Islanders. What the hell? Hold on here. All right. Vancouver has made it best of 3 4-1. Tolopilo beats Neglovic. Goes by Ogren, O'Connor, Hoagland, and O'Gran. Chicago won 4-1. That's all best of 3. Gibson losing to Spencer Knight. And no points for Mr. Kane. Columbus crushes Edmonton 9-4. That's a best of 3 now. Greaves beats Ingram. Oh, Edmonton's just leaving him to the dogs. McDavid, Savoir, Kasperi Kapanen, and Tomasek for Edmonton. Ottawa beats Calgary. That's a best of 3. 3-2. Reimer beats Cooley. James Reimer, former Leaf. Louis. Ottawa goes by Baverson, and Pinto. Ball and Shagranovich for Kugri. Seattle won 4-2. That's now a best of 3. Winnipeg losing, Halibuck losing, Perfetti and Tays. Rangers now best of 3, 5-1. Shosturkin beats Bobrovsky. Ranger goes by Lafreniere. He can't play for both teams. Okay. It was their final team. Kool-Aid and Connor Shirley. With JT Mella scoring the 5th. Toronto won 4-2. As Woe beats Hoofer. Nylander, Cowan, Nyes, and Nylander for T-Dots. So now they're up 3-1. Okay, let's do the 3-1s. Toronto, do they win? No, St. Louis wins in overtime in Toronto, being to be tailed to beat Parayko at 118 from Kyrou and Tarchenko. So St. Louis avoids trouble. Montreal avoids losing the 5. They win 3-1. Carter Hart losing to Fowler. Vegas goal by Eichel, Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky. Fowler? Cam Fowler? I gotta be right. There was a Montreal goalie named Fowler? Dallas loses in overtime. Nick Schmaltz at 9:34 from Klausen. Yamamoto as for Makeup beats Ottinger. Minnesota loses 4-2 to Anaheim, so that goes to game 6. Dostal beats Wallstad. Matt Boldy's 4th. Colorado, they lose 1-0 to Nashville. Saros beats Blackwood. Stamkos is 3rd from Nick Hague. Kitchener native, but he's not a Kitchener Ranger, so I can't say that word. Okay, the 2-2. Seattle, Winnipeg. First, Seattle wins 4-3. They're at home. Grubauer beats Hellbeck. Winnipeg. Excuse me. Connor, Morgan Barron, and Coral Perfetti for Winnipeg. Florida beats the Rangers in overtime. Marchand, the Rat from Reinhardt and Boquist. Shosturkin losing to Borowski. Will Borgen, or Victor Borgia. Victor Borgen with the goals. Tampa wins 5-3 over Washington. Johansson beats Thompson. Ovechkin is getting pelted with no goals. Haha. Carolina wins in overtime. Skinner losing to Boozy Shavshavsky. Shavshavkov is forced from Nikishkin and Tyler Hall at 5:26. Buffalo beats Boston 5-3. Lion beats Swayman, so that's big. And the Islanders shut out the Kings at home. Sorokin beats Kemper. Schaefer with Burgles. Palmero with the goals. San Jose beats Vancouver 2-1. Askarov beats Lankinen. Wenberg and Regenda for San Jose. Jake DeBrusk for Vancouver. Detroit wins 4-1 as Patrick Kane gets no points against his former team. Gibson, Kitchener beats Knight. Columbus wins 3-2 over Edmonton. Ingram losing the Greaves. Connor and Wallman for Edmonton. And Calgary beats Ottawa 3-2 as Wolf beats Merlinen. Sorry, Greeting and Michael Backlund for Calgary. Giroux and the sub for Ottawa. Can't believe it. we go through 5 games and only one team is out. This shows weirdness, and we'll end it after this one. Seattle shuts out Winnipeg, so Winnipeg's out. The core with the shutout. Eves, Freddie Goudreau, and Cackle Puffs scoring for Seattle. So Winnipeg is OUT. Take a look at them. Connor was 1-4. Comrie 1-0. They should have put Comrie in more times. Kyle Connor with 6 points, leading the point total. Rangers win 4-3. They force a game 7 in Florida. Shesty beats Bobrovsky. Ranger goes by Adam Ding. What does the fox say? La 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 Lafreniere. Victor Borgia. The two. St. Louis beats Toronto 6-2. Joseph Woll couldn't do the job. Dakota Joshua and Stetcher for Toronto, but Holloway's got his 5th goal of the whole season. Montreal wins in Vegas in overtime. That forces game 7. Dobush beats Hill. Lane Hudson at 6:49 from Bulldog and Caulfield. Washington wins in overtime over Tampa 4-3. Thompson beats Johansson. Tom Wilson does it again in overtime. Dallas crushes Utah 7-0, so Utah is OUT. Jason Robertson, 4-goal night. He had 6 goals in 6 games. Archer beats Formica. Utah out. Formica was 2-4. Fanacek, I don't know why he didn't play. Gunther and Schmaltz scoring 6 goals for 6 points for Utah. Carolina beats Pittsburgh, so the Stanley Cup champs win. Buzzy beats Seeloffs. Ehlers, Jarvis, Jankowski, Martinuk, Goldsberry, and Stahl. Carolina, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Seeloffs 2-2, Stuart Skinner 0-2. They should have kept it with Seeloffs. Sid the Kid with 7 goals, 7 points. That's Sid the Kid for you. Anaheim with the big shutout by Dosto, Theo, Killorn, Leo Carlson, and Snanicki for Anaheim. Colorado takes down Nashville 4-3 in Game 6. Wedgwood beats Saros, and you know who. So that means that Colorado is in, Nashville's out. So Nashville, let's take a look. Ended 1-3, Saros 1-1. Why the hell did Saros not play at more games? Luke Evangelista with 7 points. I think he's a nephew of Linda Evangelista, who was a top model from Canada. Buffalo wins in overtime. Tage Thompson, his 2nd of the night. Lion beats Corpusalo, and Buffalo is going to round this lean, 10 assists. Nice. So Buffalo is moving on to the next round. Boston is OUT. I'm happy as a Leaf fan. Swayman 2-2, Corpusalo 0-2. Should have kept Swayman in. 12 points for Pasta. David Pasternak, 6 goals, 6 assists, but they still got KO'd. Others beat the Kings 5-2. Sorokin beats Forsberg. So the Kings are OUT. Kemper 1-2. Anton Forsberg 1-2. 6 points by Alzey Kopitar, the Slovenian wonder who's gone now for the NHL. San Jose beats Vancouver 4-2. Askarov beats Lankinen. Vancouver goes by Rossi and Holmgren. They're out. Kevin Lankinen 1-3. Nikita Tolopilo 1-1. No Thatcher Demko. I'm surprised. 9 points from Philip Hronik. All assists. He should have been a little more selfish. Detroit beats Chicago 4-2. Gibson beats Knight. Patrick Kane did score 2 assists against his former team. John Gibson is a hero. Chicago did not make it. Spencer Knight 2-3. Soderblom 0-1. Connor Bedard's got 5 points. Only 1 goal though. Frank Nazar with 5 points. Columbus shuts out Edmonton, knocks them out. Jed Greaves beats Calvin Pickard. Matthew Olivier scored not 1, not 2, not 3 by 4 goals. Fluke. Edmonton is out. Connor Ingram 2-3. Calvin Pickard 0-1. Tristan Jarry, why the fuck did they not put him in the net? They couldn't trust him. Connor with 10 points, 4 goals, 6 assists, but they're OUT out. Ottawa beats Calgary 4-2 to force a game 7. Olmark beats Sergeyev. Ottawa goes by Greig, Cousins, Giroux, and Sunderland. Calgary goes by Parabin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game 7s. First game 7 goes to Florida, beating the Rangers 5-3. Tarasov, the win over Shesty. Rangers ruled by Cool Side of the Pillow, Braden, Shire's Hot Dogs, and DJ Mika. Florida goes by Bennett, Kaneen, We also forcing Mavi Kachuk, Matty Ice finally scoring a goal in the regular season, in the playoffs, and Reinhardt his second. So the Rangers are out. Shashirkin 3-3, Quick 0-1. Spencer Martin, Jalen Gerard. DJ Mika 7 goals, 2 assists. He led the team with 9 points. The next game 7 goes to St. Louis in overtime. Of course, the Leafs would choke. Leafs were up 4-2 after 2 periods. Wool was doing it against Bennington, but Jodorowsky, Snooker, and then in overtime by Robert Thomas. Double overtime, 85 minutes. So double overtime from Pius Suter and the Leafs. So typically Leafs lose in the tournament. The news for Toronto: Wool 1-2, Hillenby 2-1. Why the heck did Willoughby play more? And Stolar's only 1. Caden Primo and Arkansas, but Willie Nylander 12 points, 4 goals, 8 assists. The best guy. And the worst thing is Vegas could win Game 7. And no, Montreal gagne 4-3. Dobes beats Carter Hart. Vegas goals by Barbashev, Eichel, and Sissons. Montreal goals by Matheson, Caulfield, his 6th, Slafkovsky, and Danault. So Montreal does take down Vegas. Wow. So Mitch Marner does fuck up. Aiden Hill 2-1. Carter Hart 0-3. Why the hell did you put this guy in? Lindbrom 1-0. And no Akira Schmidt either. Eichel with 12 points. Marner with 9. Well, at least we have the sick feeling that Mitch Marner fucked up. Next game 7 goes to Washington, winning game 7. Ovechkin with a goal is third, 5-3, proving to Tampa that they're yesterday's news. Vasilevsky 1-2, Johansson 1-1, Halverson 1-1. 10 points from the Cooch. The other game 7 is Anaheim goes to Minnesota, wins 5-4. Nice job there as Dostal beats Gustafson. Anaheim goals by Snannicky, Kreider, Cutter, Guffier. Cutter! Sowager and Jackson Lacombe. Minnesota Mackay. West Wallstrom 1-3. Philip is 2-1. Boldy with 9 points. Game 7 goes to Calgary as Ottawa is knocked out. Omar loses to Wolf. Ottawa goals by Cousins and Yakimchuk. Coronado, Backlund, Coleman, and Frost. So that's it, right? Yep, that's it for round 32. Ottawa. Ulmark 1-2, Levi 1-2, Reimer 1-0. They should have put Reimer in more. Drake Baverson has 9 points, but Ottawa's out. Yep, so we're done. Let's take a look at the playoffs. Mika has had 7 goals in the tournament, but they're knocked out. Pasternak, Caulfield, Robertson, Marchand, Matthew Olivier, Dan Holloway have 6 goals each. Points wise, Pasternak, Eichel, Nylander, Darlene, Marchenko, and Robert Thomas all have 12 points. Colton Ellis, 1 game, 1 start. Jacob Fowler, that's who it is. All right, for a regular goalie, Mackenzie Blackwood, 1-1. With at least 5 games, Sorokin. Well, Auditor has a 202, but he played in all 6 games. Yeah, it's funny. Florida and the Rangers alternated wins. Florida won 1-3-5-7. Rangers 2-4-6. St. Louis, Toronto. Toronto had a 3-1 series lead and they choked. Typical Leafs. Fuck. Montreal, Vegas. Vegas was actually up 3-0 on Montreal and choked. Well, Marner choked worse. Ha 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 ha. Tampa, well, the first 6 games were won by the home team, but the road team won game 7. Yikes. Anaheim was down 3-1 to Minnesota. I had a hunch, but yeah, the Ducks came back. Big comeback for them. Mm-hmm. And Calgary, Ottawa, they kind of alternated. Well, we got around 16. We got San Jose, Detroit, shades of 94. Montreal, Florida. Oh boy, a lot of snowbirds there. Montreal fans will be happy. Dallas, Colorado. Oh man, this is Rented it all over again. Washington, Carolina. Islanders, Buffalo. Seattle, New Jersey. Seattle, New Jersey. Anaheim, Columbus. And Calgary, St. Louis. Well, that brings back the Brett Hall trade. So, how many Canadian teams do we have? Only two. Damn. Two out of eight Canadian teams moved on. And Calgary only moved on because they played Ottawa. Montreal won. Well, guess Canada won't be going to win this thing anymore. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Do.